Welcome back to Back and Forth Podcast. Big finals update. Really big finals update. The series has been interesting.
Roller coaster.
I mean, and it was one that I don't think many people anticipated to be interesting, and it found its way to be.
Yeah, you said Warriors in 5, and Raptors have the series lead right now, so you look like a real clown right now.
That's right. But you also said Raptors in maybe 6, so we don't know about that.
My prediction stands. If the Raptors win in 6, and I win. And you owe me $100, so.
I don't think we betted on that, but that's okay.
But the series is 3-2, nothing less, and Game 6 is tomorrow in Oakland. So who do you think is going to take Game 6 tomorrow? Do you think the Warriors will force a Game 7, or do you think the Raptors close it out?
I think Warriors force Game 7. You got to think about it. Last game in Oakland, they're going to come out with as much juice as they can. They're obviously still playing basically for Kevin Durant. As you saw, the team really responded better than I thought they would for losing KD. He went down, and the Warriors, they didn't really flinch much. They just kept going, kept fighting. They were up big, they were down big. They just kept weathering the storm, and that's what you want to see out of a team. And I've said it before, if you want to win games on the road or want to win playoff games, you got to win them on the road, and that was a big statement win.
Both teams have won on the road because Toronto went 2-0 in Oakland, and now Golden State's 2-1 in Toronto. So both teams have been winning on the road rather than in their own arena, which doesn't make any sense to me at all.
But no, I think last game in Oracle Arena, they want to close it out. They want to send this to 7. They got a lot of confidence right now. Obviously, like I said, having KD hurt again, we obviously don't officially know the severity, but we can pretty much.
I don't know what they're waiting. Like you saw the thing pop up. Like
we know it's pretty bad. They just, like I said, haven't officially announced it, but obviously I got Warriors closing it out tonight, or not tonight, excuse me, tomorrow night, Game 6, and sending it to Game 7.
I think just for the to help my prediction here, because I said Raptors in 7, so I think the Warriors will probably, they'll have the home court advantage tomorrow. They still play good, even if Kevin Durant's not going to be there. They still have Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Boogie played really well off the bench last game, so I think he'll go to a Game 7 in Toronto. And hopefully, for the love of God, the Toronto Raptors close it out, so I don't have to hear Alex here talk about the Warriors. I don't have to hear Devin talk about the Warriors. And I made a pretty ridiculous bet with my friend that I don't even want to talk about. So I need the Raptors at least, whether it's tomorrow or Sunday in Toronto, for the love of God. I need Kawhi Leonard to be an absolute animal. But Kyle Lowry really...
You put an exclamation point on my analysis of him. Everybody's like,
I don't know how he's an all-star.
And it's funny because people are like, no, Matt, he's better than you think. I said, no, he's inconsistent. That's what it is. Sorry.
How does a professional NBA player hit the side of a backboard on a wide-open 3?
Because it's Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry does that type of thing.
I could at least hit the rim.
Kyle Lowry's the type of guy that goes out in the playoff game and doesn't score any points.
Well, I mean, he's done that before.
Right, exactly.
I mean, you think you say countless times, oh, you can't do any worse. You can't. And Kyle Lowry's like, hold my beer. Watch this. You can't do any worse than 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, and 0 blocks. And he'll go on. He'll be like, watch this.
And the bigger question I thought is, why didn't Pascal Siakam get a look at the ball? I know, I get it. Kawhi was probably double, but you still have Pascal.
I mean, it was a good look. I just don't know how you miss an open 3. Or at least, hit the rim for the love of God. You hit the side of the backboard.
Joe, it's Kyle Lowry.
Come on, man.
Kyle Lowry does that type of things.
Yeah, I say I'm going to go Raptors in 7, though. Because, it'll be the last game in Oracle. They're going to want to, close it out or at least have that last memory in Oracle Arena. So I say, Warriors go out and they hit a couple threes and whatnot. And, they play that fast-paced basketball. I think Klay Thompson will play out of his mind, the Splash Brothers, Curry and Klay. The energy and everything in Oracle Arena. And then hopefully we go back to Toronto and the energy is absolutely unbelievable and Toronto just feeds off of it and closes it. But a part of me, even though I did pick the Raptors, a part of me is rooting for Golden State a little bit for this reason. I was not a very big fan of Toronto fans. Canadians are supposed to be nice.
Now,
they were cheering for Kevin Durant after they went down.
Big shout out to Drake, by the way. Big shout out.
You can see, you go to Oakland or Raider fans or some of the least classiest fans in the NFL or the NBA, and you will always see them cheer when a player goes down.
No,
Whether it's on their team or the opponent, they always cheer and they make sure they're okay, and they cheer as they go back
Yeah.
into the tunnel, of course, to get evaluated. Raptor fans were straight cheering, and if you looked in the crowd, you saw a bunch of Raptor fans going like this and waving bye-bye. So a part of me was rooting and still kind of is rooting for Golden State after that. That's that really struck a nerve with me.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, big shout out to Drake. Really classed what he did. You could see he was upset. He didn't want to see KD go.
Camera was on him, man. You think Drake's gonna?
Normally, normally like that, you just sit there. You're like, okay, it obviously sucks, but
I'll give my credit to the Raptor players for,
yeah, I mean,
telling the crowd like,
yeah,
what the hell? What are you doing?
Yeah, and I mean, you could tell like that's Drake's buddy right there. Like, yeah, that more so.
He's got a tattoo of him.
Yeah, exactly.
His bud buddy.
Well, depending on where the location is, you never know. He really might be. But anyways, no. It was cool to see though. Obviously not what the Raptor fans did. That I can understand clapping, to make sure he's okay and everything, but to be mocking him and it's funny because the Raptor fans knew that was the X factor. They knew if KD could stay healthy, they're in trouble.
Well, I mean, I bet you anywhere where the game was being played, deep down, a fan was like, yes, but still, like, at least have the class to like clap it up and get respect for the player. Now, even me as a fan, sometimes.
Oh, don't worry.
If the Celtics were playing, last year in the series, and LeBron got hurt, of course I'd be, get better, LeBron. But deep down, I'm like, thank God we can win this thing.
100% with you on that. Like, if the Clippers are playing a rival, deep down, I'm like, man, I really hope this guy blows his knee out. But if he does, I'm not gonna say like, I'm not gonna.
We were terrible.
I'm not
my God.
I'm not gonna visibly cheer about it. But deep down, I'm like, it'd be nice. It'd help the Clippers out if maybe it's like snapped a little bit the wrong way.
You know what's funny? You as a Clippers fan thinking, wanting the other player to blow his knee out when it was your players always blowing their knees out. Seems like Blake Griffin could never stay healthy to save his life.
Blowing knees out that sounds too much like Gordon Hayward.
What was his leg, you asshole? So.
I'm just saying But all jokes aside, though, seriously, we do hope KD makes a full recovery. Obviously, a really bad injury. What happened to him? Never want to see anybody go down. Kind of goes for anybody in the league, but
all seriousness.
I mean, I think that's changed.
He should have been smarter, though. He should not have been listening to what people were saying to him.
I feel like
that's the problem with KD. He thinks, he cares too much about what the media and other people are saying about him. He should have used his brain more than his heart a little more on this one because his injury was pretty bad, and he knew for sure if he were to go out there and he just tweaked it the wrong way, he was going to make it worse. And you look at Achilles injuries. Achilles are those are career-ending injuries. Arian Foster was one of the best young running backs in the NFL. Popped his Achilles. The man retired, 2 years ago now?
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant, granted he was 33 years old when it happened. Kobe popped his Achilles, and 2 years later he retired after that because he just wasn't the same player. Yeah. And after that injury, he became injury prone and couldn't be the same Kobe Bryant that everyone grew up and knew. So, this is a tough, very tough injury for KD, and we wish he recovers and makes a full recovery, and hopefully he'll probably be out next season with the injury, but the following NBA season he comes back and he's the same Kevin Durant, because that's the worst thing that could happen to a player, especially right before free agency, and he's wanted that big payday. He's been taking pay cuts his entire career to help the team he was on. And, this was the summer he was like, okay, enough of the pay cuts. I want to get my payday now. And then goes out and tears it. I feel like that's going to it may not affect teams' interest in him, but I think it's going to affect the amount of money someone's going to want to pay because, if you're the Knicks, you're already a dumpster fire as it is. You give him 4 years, $150 million, and he doesn't come back the same player. You're paying $30+ million a year for a guy that does nothing for your team.
Yeah. Well, and I guess maybe for a little bit of hopefulness, the initial timetable for a torn Achilles, I believe I heard, was 10 to 12 months. So you may see a little Kevin Durant.
If he was smart, don't play him at all. Just send him out the whole year. Because what if he comes back again in the playoffs and then he screws it up more? Just be smart.
Well, I'm just giving you the timetable that they said it was.
I know you are. I'm just saying, like, Kevin Durant's
months.
got to be smart here.
So for Warrior fans that are potentially hoping to hang on to Kevin Durant, that's what you're kind of looking at is about 10 to 12 months.
He gone.
But anyways, I'm just trying to. It's one of these mornings, man. Trying to drag it a little bit. But anyways, no,
Were you out drinking again last night, Matt?
maybe too much. Maybe a little too much. I'm just kidding.
We got to find. Let's start this. Applications are now open for a new co-host on the Back and Forth podcast because Matt's alcoholism has really affected. He's came in here countless days smelling like alcohol, and just you could just really tell that he was out drinking. So if this happens again, Matt, you're done.
Okay? We could try AA.
Pull the bottle. Don't pull it. I mean, push it. Don't pull it. All right.
Not what you're talking about. Pull it. No, I'm kidding.
But
in all seriousness, though, and it's kind of funny because when we talk about these serious injuries,
He's having a ball with his cup right here.
A lot of even Paul George, I think, even came back then that following season when injury.
He didn't tear his Achilles.
It's pretty similar.
Broken legs are. This sounds crazy, but broken legs are easier to come back from.
Yeah,
they're far more easy. Like Achilles, you got to rebuild that entire muscle. Like that thing snaps. You got to rebuild the strength in that and everything. With a broken leg, every injury I've seen, at least there's a couple, but most injuries in professional sports and from people I've known, they've came back fine. Paul George, Gordon Hayward, obviously towards the end of the year started playing a lot better. And then you have my friend Blake a couple years ago, broke his leg, and he's still doing motocross and riding the bike around and whatnot, and he's completely fine. So I think broken legs are far more easier to recover from. Achilles, you have to rebuild and regain strength in that entire muscle again. So,
and I do think, if I remember right, we did see at least a little bit of Kobe that following season, from what I remember.
No, he was out the entire year.
Was he? I thought he came back for a little bit in that last.
They didn't make the playoffs at all. He was out the entire year because I remember I went to a game and they were like 14. They still beat the goddamn Celtics. They're 14-40, or they were like 13-41. And I remember Kobe Bryant was in a black tux or not black suit on the bench. And I'm just assuming they kept him out because, like, if you're not, they were a losing team. Why would they play? Wouldn't make any sense. Like, hey, Kobe, we're 15-60. 15 wins. For those who don't know, 15 wins and 60 losses. Season's practically over here. I'm not going to the playoffs. 7 games left. Why don't you go out there and play and risk your injury? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I think he came back the following year. But make sure you guys tune in to Game 6. Obviously, like, subscribe, leave your feedback and whatnot. Matt, appreciate you guys listening too. Sorry.
Yeah.
Excuse me. How dare I?
First, we might have to have a debate on who's the little alcoholic over here. I know. We'll have to check in on you after free agency. That could be a different story.
I may hang myself after free agency, so you may not even see me.
It's gotten that bad, guys. It really has. Anyways, like, subscribe.
I've already gotten the rope in the stool. It's just once Kyrie leaves and once we lose out on Davis, or once we trade the whole farm for Davis and our starting point guard's Ricky Rubio next season.
Sorry, buddy. It's okay.
It's whatever.
Like, subscribe, watch, share. Really appreciate you guys listening, watching, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. This is Back and Forth Podcast. We got more content coming for you guys.
Really tough time.
Yeah, we both kind of.
Come on, man. Jesus Christ. Gotta knock this shit off.
Look, I told you. It's gonna happen. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.